there is a bit of science been applied to this. A suggestion that we should rip out 8 out of 10 traffic lights, and it would speed things up. This is a study by the Institute of Economic Affairs found that a 2-minute delay to every car journey that's made a year equates to, are you ready for this? This is ridiculous. An astonishing loss to the economy of around £16 billion. £16 billion. That's incredible, isn't it? Huge amount of money. And they're saying that a lot of this is down to traffic lights, because they're absolutely everywhere, aren't they? And other, not just that as well, things like bus lanes, cycle lanes, traffic calming measures like your speed bumps, that kind of thing. And we've all seen this, haven't we? It happens on a pretty regular basis in Hereford. Is it the Belmont Island? I think I'm pretty sure it is. The traffic lights pack up there and everyone reports on how much better the traffic is running. Seems a bit weird state of affairs, so turn them off. There's been a campaign running since 2014 to get some of these lights switched off on the A49 in Hereford. Let's talk to John Harrington from Hereford Transport Forum. Morning to you, John.
Morning, Elliot. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Are those the lights I'm talking about? It is Belmont Island, isn't it?
It is the Belmont Island, what they call the Asda sort of roundabout now. Well, not roundabout, it was a roundabout originally, which is another point. But anyway, yes, it is the Belmont stroke Asda junction. And there's 16 set of lights there now, I think. So
16?
16.
1-6.
1-6, yes, because there wasn't enough.
So, 16?
Yeah, 16.
And that's pretty much true, isn't it? Whenever they're not working, whenever they pack up, Hereford runs much more smoothly.
It was a roundabout before, Elliot, and it's now a 16-light controlled junction. So someone somewhere decided it was a good idea, but not anyone who seems to be driving in a vehicle through Hereford.
Yeah. How are things going with the campaign?
They're okay. At the moment, unfortunately, with the current administration in Herefordshire Council, we're not really going to get anywhere. The A49 is a trunk road, so Highways Agency, or Highways England it's now called, control it, and they've always said they're happy to trial things like the removal of traffic lights and other things, but they need the political will, because as a courtesy they'll extend to the city that the road is running through. The council's not interested for whatever reason. I personally believe it's because that they have other ideas and they would like to push a bypass narrative and say that congestion will be cured by that, which it simply won't. But that's my view. But basically, we can do something if there's political will. At the moment, there isn't, so we're against a bit of a stalemate.
So not much is going to happen anytime soon?
I don't think so. I mean, we keep pushing. We're at least trying to push for the part-time traffic lights, if not the full removal. And in any case, all we're all saying anyway is let's have a trial. Someone's offered to do a free trial. Let's do it, and it'll be done by microsimulation to start with. So there's no danger to anyone.
What about all the other things? There are other things mentioned in this: cycle lanes, speed bumps, bus lanes, that kind of thing. I mean, do they cause big problems?
I'm not so sure about that. Certainly not in Hereford, because we simply don't have any of those things where they count. I mean, on that stretch of road, we have no bus lanes, we have no cycle lanes. So I'm not entirely sure about that. The other thing in terms of sort of traffic lights is that they actually, I know this study said that the sort of Green lobby was pushing against, movement and traffic and all the rest of it. But in actual fact, where traffic lights have been removed, and this is absolutely statistically correct, accidents have gone down. So,
well, do you know, as you're talking there, I've just noticed this. Schemes in the Netherlands and in Germany scrapped 80% of their traffic lights. They've done similar things in various cities in this country. And accidents go down and the roads move quicker.
They move quicker because people just simply look where they're going. They don't assume they're in a system. Green light, go. You're entitled to go. Forget about anyone else. They assume that they're travelling on a road and they've got to proceed safely, as you would if you're in the countryside. And obviously the volumes of traffic are higher, but that actually doesn't make a difference.
So if all the evidence points towards these things being a completely pointless. Well, no, they're not pointless in every case. Of course they're not. But the excessive use of them, I suppose. Let's phrase it like that. Why do we have them then? Why?
That's a very good point, and you're right to say that there won't be a perfect solution in every case, and that's why you look at it on its merits. But the real reason, I believe, is because partly ignorance. I mean, when we first talked to the Highways Agency guys, considering these are engineers, they'd never even been involved in lights out trials, so it simply wasn't a cultural thing that they tried, but they were prepared to embrace it. The other problem is sort of demonstrated when we asked Highways Agency to send someone down to look at the lights. They sent down what they called a local contractor, which is one of the big utility companies who does their work for them. And when he came back, he said, I don't think it's a good idea. And we said, well, what does he do for a living? And he said, well, he's in charge of putting in traffic lights. So we said, yeah. So that's in a sort of snapshot.
Yeah, it's turkeys voting for Christmas, isn't it, really? It's that old scenario, yeah.
It's a very expensive business, so a lot of people make a lot of money out of traffic lights.
When you talk to people about this campaign, just the general public, is the reaction fairly positive?
Almost exclusively, people say, why can't we do it? That's a great idea. Whenever the traffic lights fail, as they do at Asda, as they did the other day by the railway junction in Hereford, things go smoothly. What people tend to worry about, they think, but after a certain time people will start being discourteous and they won't be kind and they'll just go. It just simply doesn't happen. People always continue using the road as the conditions allow. And if you remove the traffic lights, one thing I would say is I'd much rather we said, look, let's drop the speed limit in the city from 30 to 20 and have no traffic lights so that when you come into Hereford, you're moving continuously, even if you're moving at a sensible, safe speed. And, it could so easily be done. It reduced queues when they did it in cab stands in Bristol by something like 60%. Yeah. Everyone thought it would be a ridiculous idea. It worked wonderfully well. It could work. It could work here in Hereford.
John, lovely to speak to you. Thanks a lot for that. 0345 300 8181. It is fascinating, isn't it? It does seem counterintuitive that you think that these lights are speeding us along our way and they're controlling the flow of traffic. But no, often they're just making things worse. And yeah, as he pointed to several, there's lots of these surveys actually around the world. Lots and lots of people, different countries have tried these surveys, and often it seems to be pointing the same way, that the fewer traffic lights you have, the better the flow of traffic.